Welcome to the Lodge Lockdown with your host, Frank Cronogue.
Okay, we are live.
We are.
Well, not live, but you know, pre-recorded live.
Amongst us four, we are so live.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, here we are, and we have. Well, first of all, let's introduce the bloody thing, shall we? Before I get too far ahead of myself, this is another edition of the Lodge Lockdown. We are on episode 4. Can you believe it? Even though months have passed since the last one, and if by magic, Jake's hair's got really long and out of control since then.
Yeah.
So COVID times is definitely going on there. Yeah. We are going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So I've got 3 pages worth of it actually. But before we do that, let's introduce our guests who are going to help me. And I know that you'll recognise these people, and it's good to have them back. First of all, let's please welcome the man himself who's helping me today and being absolutely great with this. And it's my friend Jake Wardle.
Hello again, everyone.
Hey, Jake.
Hey.
And next up is the lovely, radiant Sarah Jean Long. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi guys,
Hey,
glad
Sarah.
to be here.
And last but by no means least, the audio award-winning person himself. It's none other than Jay Aaseng. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing great, Frank. Glad to be here with you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah. So it's lovely to have you all here. Fantastic. So let's go through some of the things we'll be talking about. But first of all, I have a bit of news for you. Usually I have my assistant here, Valerie, and she was unable to make it due to the fact that she's on an archaeological dig in Alaska.
Whoa.
So we wish her well.
Wow.
So she sent
That's
her
so
love anyway.
cool.
Yeah,
Man.
it is quite cool there at the moment. Yeah, it's about up below 20, I think. So the main topics for this evening, or today, or tomorrow, whenever you see this, are something that's on all our minds at the moment due to COVID, because we don't know when we'll be able to have one, is holidays or vacations. And what is your perfect holiday? What is your perfect holiday destination, and why? That's the first thing, because I think all of us want to get away at the moment, to be honest. And the second topic later on is dreams. Can you remember the last dream you had? For the most recent, but it could be an unusual one or whatever springs to mind, really. So we'll be talking about that, delving into the dream world as well as we go along. There'll also be Is That a Fact, where I read out an amazing fact to blow all your minds. And I've got quite a good one this week. And 5 random questions to one of my guests. But who will it be?
5 random questions to one random person.
This is when everyone shuffles very uneasily on their seats.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So great to have you all here, and thank you everyone for watching. And let's get cracking with the first topic, which is holidays. And anyone can jump in at any point, and we'll just see how it goes. So first of all, what is your perfect holiday destination? Somewhere you may never have been before, perhaps, or just somewhere you really love that you'd like to be able to get back to, but can't because of the current COVID rules and regulations.
Well, someplace I've been dreaming about a lot is Hawaii, somewhere with a beach destination that is nowhere in the U.S. of A. And what's terrible is I finally got my passport maybe 6 months before COVID hit. And I had all these plans to travel, get out, and I even had plans to go on a cruise in October, but who knows if that's actually going to happen. In the meantime, I've pretty much just been subsidizing by doing little trips to Vegas here and there, because now it's open. So, but if my dream vacation, something I've been dreaming of this whole pandemic is some beach far, far away with a margarita in my hand. Yeah. That's a dream for me.
That sounds great.
Pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon, Dave?
So,
What do you think, Dave?
Huh?
Oh,
Who's next?
wait, I missed it. Who's next? Who did we throw to? Well, I just want to real quick. I feel like there might be a little point of clarification that could be helpful here, just terminology, because I think in the UK the way you use holiday is a little different than the way we use it here, right? When you're saying holiday, you're just mean it's like a vacation, right?
Yeah,
you go on holiday. That's kind of the term, right? Okay, gotcha. So this isn't like your favorite Christmas destination or whatever.
I watched enough BBC to know that. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah. I think
So cool.
just
Doctor Who in the background.
just wanted to make sure.
TARDIS.
Yeah. For me, my standards have been lowered for sure because of COVID. At this point, I think my dream destination is just something simple in the Midwest with a lake and family. And I'm from Wisconsin, and growing up, we used to do these kind of extended family reunions every couple of years, where we just all kind of find a place that would kind of have these little cabins all kind of surrounding a lake, and we just go there. Each family kind of a cabin, and that was pretty much all you did for a week. You just, here the week, you went in the lake, you went swimming, you went fishing, you just kind of went kind of running around each person's cabin, and right now that just sounds like a little place of heaven to me, honestly. Just something to be able to see people and do something, honestly, and in a place that's away from LA would be kind of nice as well. So that's kind of at the top of the list for me right now.
Sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
It does sound good. Yeah.
Mine's
Jake, how about yourself?
Mine's a bit outlandish.
Great.
Let's hear it.
The moon.
Oh,
Yeah. Obviously,
man.
might not even be in any of our lifetimes, but it's nice to have a dream. They did reckon commercial holidays to the moon, but that's
in the next 10 years, right?
10 years. We'll see.
Yeah.
They like
feel
to make
you're-
optimistic predictions. We'll see, but that would be cool.
I'm optimistic. I think we'll make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even if
Just-
an old age, would be nice if I could do it, of course.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more realistically, I'd say somewhere I've already been. Snoqualmie, Washington, because I went there for the fest in 2018, but I was only there for 3 days for the fest. I want to be there for at least a week because it was so beautiful. And just I love anywhere with mountains and trees and waterfalls. For me it's really tranquil, and it's just beautiful, and it's just got this energy in the air that just resonates with me. And I would love to just spend a longer time. I mean, the fest is fun and everything, but just spend a bit more time there, just in that natural environment.
Yeah. Did you get a chance to do some hiking out there when you were there?
I did. I mean, obviously, it was mainly at the fest, but I did do the walk to the waterfall at 6 a.m.
Okay, nice.
And I'm not normally an early bird, but I got up for that, and that was lovely, and I really enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Yeah. And
Cool.
I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I can't wait till I get to go back there, and next time I'm going to stay longer. Definitely.
Yeah. Right on.
And I've never been there, so I'd love to. I mean, that's still an ambition for me to go there.
I mean, that's my
I've never
favorite
been
place in the US. I mean, because I've only been to the US. I've only been to 3 places in the US: LA, New Orleans, and Snoqualmie, Washington, and that's my favorite of the 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But also anywhere that's similar to that as well. I mean, there are other parts of the world that do have that kind of geography too. So anywhere that's like that, but mountains and trees and waterfalls. That's my cup of tea, definitely.
Yeah. You'd like Yosemite. You should try that sometime.
Yeah, I've
if you ever
heard
get the
about that
chance.
place. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be right up your alley.
yeah, definitely.
Beautiful place too. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I can totally breathe easier up there. Like,
Yeah.
I got so much oxygen, it's almost overwhelming how beautiful and clean it is up there. So I can totally understand.
Mm. So
Different
you
place
just feel it
altogether,
in the
isn't it?
air.
I mean, compared to LA, because I'm such a city girl. Yeah, it's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Huge difference, yeah. But I did
Also,
hear that.
I was just going to say, one of the interesting things about COVID is how much the air has cleared up a bit here in LA. And basically what that means is like we can now see the mountains more, so it kind of taunts us more. It's like, oh, we don't usually get to see them, and now there they are, and that's really gorgeous. And it just, in a kind of a surreal way, it just kind of highlights even more how much you are where you are, and that's a place that would be nice to go. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think I saw an article today saying in the UK anyway, air emissions dropped 9% or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
boy,
Oh,
quite a difference.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, hopefully
Useful
we can
lines to
get
come out of this.
learn from that. And
Yeah, hopefully.
Richard Branson was meant to be doing some flights into orbit, wasn't he? Like,
yeah, he's the one backing it. That's why
yeah.
the whole in 10 years might be able to travel to space commercially. It might be possible. I mean, so that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I want to go to space.
It's literally going to be just above, in the atmosphere. It's not going to go out.
I'm
And
down.
It's like a Concorde trip, like luxury kind of thing. Just circle around and then come back down again. So you won't be up there for very long. But I mean, the prices for it are ludicrous at the moment. I think it's like £500,000 or something like that for a ticket or something stupid. Yeah. So,
Great. So I'm probably going to have to get a job to be able to afford it. Got it. I'm going to be conductor of that train or that spaceship or whatever. I'm going.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, right. Anything else you guys want to add about vacations and stuff before we move on?
I like to go to Japan again. I actually managed to go with my friends in January 2020, just before it all went down. So that was for us. We were like, we managed to get that one quickly, get in there quickly before things went south. And I loved it. We all loved it. That's probably one of the best holidays I've had. So I'd like to go back there again, maybe check out a different part. So I went to Tokyo and Narita, probably go to some other parts too. So,
yeah.
I thought I always wanted to go. Yeah.
It's good fun. It's brilliant.
I just want to be able to get up and go, like no restrictions. Like I want to leave right now. Let's just go. Like I hate restrictions. Like I love spontaneous trips. It's just like, hey, you got anything to do for the next week? Nothing? All right, let's go. Just being able to just leave.
Yeah.
Would be great.
Yeah.
It's like even for just day-to-day life. I mean, the simple things you would never have imagined would ever be restricted.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like every time I'm like, I need to do that. Oh wait, I can't. So I want to get my hair cut. Oh no, I can't until 22nd of April here in England. No haircuts until the 22nd of.
Wait, why? So why that date? Is that when things are opening up again for you guys?
I know it's I can't remember the exact date in April, but my next haircut appointment is already booked for the 22nd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're booked all up, man.
It is. Yeah, I've not.
Yeah, I know. Just getting into the Apple store here is ridiculous. It takes like a month just to get an appointment at the Apple store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
First
God.
world problems,
think about that. Damn it. Come on, Genius Bar.
Start making those geniuses mobile, man. We can't live without them.
Yeah, seriously, they need a truck.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm tired of restrictions.
Yeah. So many.
Yeah.
And it chopping changes a lot as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, right. Moving goalposts. And then rugby gets pulled from you at the last minute, like with Christmas here in the UK. It's like, oh, you can meet. Oh, no, you can't. All of a sudden. Oh, no, we changed our mind. No, you can't.
Oh, jeez.
We already organised everything. Yeah.
Oh, they did. They pulled the rug out on you guys. That
they did. Yeah, they said
right before Christmas.
You can meet up for
The support bubble.
the support bubble or one other household, and then all of a sudden cases went up, and they was like, okay, boom, no, we're not doing it now.
Oh God. And it's all honor system, right? So it's just like, please be a good person. They're just begging people to do the right thing, and so you feel like an asshole if you don't. But yeah.
It's all
it's such a mess. Yeah, my parents just got tickets to fly to come see us. It's not going to be until towards the end of May. And I think things, knock on wood, are going to be looking a lot better by then. But as of now, these restrictions are still in place where, like, anybody coming in has to quarantine for however long. And my parents are just kind of like, wonder, like, well, if we're actually going to have to do that, that's kind of going to just make the whole trip, kind of pointless. So, because, we can't quarantine for 2 weeks before, and we're only going to be here for 5 days. So it's like, but, it's just that whole thing where things just keep changing so fast. So we're kind of keeping faith that by that point, things will be good enough that that will no longer be in place, but we shall see.
Yeah. Well, I've got for you guys, is that a fact? So be ready now for this.
Oh,
right.
Let's do it.
The famous director, Alfred Hitchcock, was frightened of eggs.
Eggs.
Eggs?
Someone frightened of eggs is called an ovophobe. Ovophobe, yeah. Ovophobe. In the 1963 interview, Hitchcock said, they revolt me. That white round thing without any holes. And when you break it inside, there's that yellow thing without any holes. It's disgusting. So there you go.
Man, that Hitchcock had opinions, man.
Yeah.
He could have made a horror film out of it, the way he described it.
Yeah.
Thing's got no holes, and then there's this yellow thing that comes out.
Without any holes in it.
And you just get all the fancy camera angles and everything, make it really dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Yeah.
He would have hated more spaceship.
I didn't know. There was a word for it, but you're an ovophobe if you hate eggs.
Yeah.
Interesting word.
Man. That should be a whole trivia category in and of itself, all the different phobes. There's so many phobes out there.
Lots of folks, We did a thing on that about phobias, actually.
Yeah, we did last one on my interview, I think. The last
Oh, nice.
We did about phobias, yeah. That was really good. That was interesting, I have to admit.
Some heavy conversations there.
Falling was a big one. Falling, when you dream of
falling. Yeah, don't remind me. I still have, like, lately, just like the past week, I still have this falling thing right before I fall asleep, and it's been more regular lately, and it's so annoying. When you're about to fall asleep and then suddenly you feel like you're falling.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yes.
Disgusting feeling.
Yeah. But we'll be getting on to dreams, funny enough. That was a good segue, but we're not quite there yet. But we will be talking about dreams. It's amazing how this goes, and it kind of just melds into one, from one thing to another, seamlessly. But now is the big moment for you all, where I'm going to pick one of you to answer 5 random questions.
Oh, boy.
Oh, but who will it be? That's the big one. Well, let's see, as I do my imaginary selectatron thing.
Spin the wheel.
Aaseng.
What? Oh, I could have been drinking coffee just a little bit earlier. I could have done a spit take for you there.
Jay, are you ready?
All right. I'm ready, as ready as I can be.
Okay, here we go. Question 1. Have you ever walked over hot coals?
Not without my shoes on. I have walked over something pretty similar to that with shoes on, but I don't think that really is quite as badass.
Oh, so what was the story of that?
Not really much of a story. Just just camping and stuff, and a fire, and the fire's died down, and we're all being idiots and just kind of walking over it, but nobody's actually taking off their shoes and socks because we haven't had that much to drink, I guess. Otherwise, it definitely seems possible that is something I would have done at some point, but. Thankfully, the intersection of my drinking and my wanting to walk over hot things have not intersected yet.
That's good.
You went on the absinthe that moment. Okay, second question, Jay. What was the last record that you bought?
The last record that I bought, boy, well, that's, that's a strange question in this time of Spotify, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think back.
Man, that's gonna be a ways back. I have to think of what an actual physical album was that I bought. I'm going to have to go back awfully far for that one. I have a memory, I don't know if it was the last one I bought, but I have a memory of going to a now defunct record store out here, Amoeba Records. Very sad. It's no longer there. I guess all record stores are gone now pretty much. And and I bought a CD that was a compilation Soundgarden CD. It was A-sides. And I just remember seeing that, and I was always a fan of theirs growing up, and it kind of had some new tracks on there as well that I hadn't seen, as well as some of my favorites. And I remember scooping that one up and being very pleased with that. And I remember listening to that not so long ago when I went to a concert that was like a Soundgarden tribute concert. It was basically all the members of Soundgarden, other than Chris Cornell, who passed away a little while back, and anyway, that was kind of, so I think that kind of all maybe why I thought of that. But anyway, yeah, that would probably be the last album. My gosh, I mean, I'm trying to think of even the last album I was like cognizant of like having released at this point, which would probably be in the same vein. I'm showing my age and 90s grunge. I'm still kind of stuck in that mode. But Pearl Jam released an album last year, and I think that was the last one I was like really excited for. And I was even going to go to their tour because they were coming through LA. And that got shut down, just in time for COVID, and along with every other concert on the planet, and and so that's why that one's sticking out in my head. But anyway, yeah, that's about what I got for you.
Okay, here's the third one for you, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
What is one of the best compliments anyone has ever given you?
The best compliment someone's ever given me. Gee, that's tough. I remember when I was in college. I remember this because I feel like it's not something you usually hear like in college necessarily, but someone told me I was a good listener, and just had like it was my roommate, and he was going through a hard time, and he was like, man, you listen. Not many people listen, but like you listened, and that's cool. I was like, oh. Thanks, man. It was like kind of weird and awkward, but it was also kind of sweet. So, and I'll always take that over anything. I feel like I love giving that compliment to other people too, because I feel like it's something people don't get complimented for enough. It's great when people are, great performers and are great at doing all kinds of things. That's all awesome, but to be a good listener, I think is a really cool thing. So,
it is, yeah.
Yeah, the best gift you can give somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Little things that make the world go round, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fourth question, Jay. You're near the end now.
Okay.
Do you have a good poker face?
A good poker face. I think I do, actually. That's not to say that I'm good at poker itself, the game, but I feel like every time I try to play poker, I pretty much suck at it. But there are other games, like, do you guys have this game Werewolf, or have you heard of it? There's other types of games that like. In fact, I think it's kind of a form of this is kind of blowing up a little bit. What's it called? All Alone or Alone, All of Us, something. What's the thing?
Oh, Among Us.
Among Us. Thank you. Yeah, I think it's kind of like that, where it's like but there's a version of that. It's basically it's in person. The idea is like everybody kind of gets assigned a role, and you're all kind of there, and one person is the werewolf, and so. You talk for a little bit, and then like it's nightfall, and then like everybody kind of has to close their eyes and put their cards down, and then the werewolf chooses somebody that gets killed, and then and then everybody comes back and they find who gets killed and they try to figure out who did it, and like it's a game I haven't played in a while, but the last time I played it, I had so much fun because I got to be the werewolf, and I was just killing everybody, and I was being such a deceitful ass about it, pretending that it was not me, and like it's completely clueless, and just poker facing it up like crazy, and so at that point, those poker face skills I think served me well. So yeah, I'll go with yes, as long as I get to pretend kill people. I have a pretty good poker face.
That's good. Yeah. And your fifth and final question, Jay, big one here. Life. What's it all about?
Oh boy.
You have to sum it up.
Take it away.
In less than 10 seconds. No, I'm joking. You can do it.
Life, what's it all about? Well, that's been a heck of a question given COVID here, hasn't it? I think I'll give the glib answer first that my UK friends will love, which is that it's got to be 42, right?
Yes.
There we go.
Everything.
Absolutely. In fact, what's funny is I just got a T-shirt that has like the triple Venn diagram. It's life, the universe, everything, and then 42 right in the middle. And I just turned 42.
I need that shirt.
So like now that I'm 42, I'm like, hey, I'm the answer, everybody.
You are.
Wow.
You
asked the question.
Yeah. So
Convenient.
yeah. So when you youngins turn 42, at least you have that to look forward to. But I don't know. To try to dig for a slightly more meaningful answer. I mean, the fact that I've been, stuck in quarantine as we all have, and I've had the extra blessing, shall we say, of being trapped in quarantine with two small children, and it definitely gives you a lot of time to kind of consider, what's just the things that matter and what's and what is important, and I've seen things of career suddenly doesn't matter as much. A lot of nonsense that I thought mattered didn't, and a lot of it is just, and maybe it's partly just kind of getting older, but it's just like what's just finding out the people that you love, that you enjoy being with, that you want to spend time with. Just doing as much as you can with them, and trying to hold on to moments that might not seem like much now, but they will seem like a lot later. It's that kind of weird thing where the meaningful moments often don't seem like that while they're happening, but then you realize that they were. So it's kind of trying to tune out all the other nonsense that we have to deal with, and we've all been tested so much more than we thought we would be on that front this past year. But yeah, that's what I got. If there was any meaning to any of that I just said.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, Jay, for answering those 5 random questions. You did brilliantly, and you got 5 out of 5.
Wow! All those are right.
I get 5 points in a game where the points don't matter.
You get 5 points, and you get a limited edition version of Werewolf game coming shortly.
Yeah, 2021 edition.
By the way, we've also been given a gift by Zoom. A little notification came up saying the 40-minute limit has been removed.
Oh my gosh.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's the first time.
How'd you pull that off?
I don't know. Zoom's being generous today, so yeah. We won't need to set up a new link or anything. when the time.
Yeah,
Oh.
fantastic.
That's good.
Fantastic. So we are good. We are good, but
Yep.
we are actually approaching the last subject.
Okay.
So it's kind of
Wrap it up.
we can make this go on a bit longer if you want to. Depends how you
Well,
answer
I
it.
have a lot to say about this subject anyway. So
Dreams. Yes. Right. Can you remember the last dream you had? It can be the last dream you had. It could also be just one that stands out, you know, as maybe a really weird, unusual dream, frightening dream, perplexing dream, whatever you wish, really. And who would like to start first?
I'll
Jake?
start first. Or
Sarah?
yeah. My last dream, very super vivid. I can remember it like it was yesterday because it probably was. I went back to elementary school as an adult, and all of my friends for all my life were there at the same school, and I kept getting like in trouble for speaking my mind as an adult. And every teacher I came across, I said, Sarah, you're not supposed to say that. You're in so much trouble. Yada, yada, yada. And I kept getting in trouble over and over again. And it was terrifying. Like so much rejection at my old elementary school that I haven't like been in, but I can see the hallways just so clear. Like I was there like yesterday, and it was the weirdest dream. I woke up in a panic, like feeling so bad, like, oh, why did I say that stuff? Wait, I'm not in elementary school anymore. Why do I feel so terrible? So it was really, really weird. I think I've had that dream like twice in the past like couple weeks or so. I keep going back to school and keep getting rejection. So I don't know what that's about.
It's weird how the brain does that as well. And so
Yeah.
you know, even though all those people from different stages in your life didn't go to that school, while you're in the dream, it's almost like you're another version of you in a different universe because you're not even questioning it at the time. Now, when you wake up, you think, hang on, that doesn't make sense. You know, I'm not in school anymore, and those never went to my school. What's that all about? But while you're in the dream, your brain is just putting you in a different reality. You're moving your reference to your, you know, waking world.
Even funnier.
Everything up. It's interesting.
I almost wanted to text my friends that I remember, and I'm like, hey, you made me get in trouble in my dream. I'm very mad at you. Why did you do yeah, and then like but the dreams feel so real lately. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or whatever, but like even like before that, I had a dream where my mom wanted to get rid of the dog we got, and I woke up so mad at her. Mom, why would you do that? We don't want to get rid of our dog. It's just like, it feels so real. I mean, I love dreams because it's like, you know, you escape it. You can almost like try to control it, but you wake up and it's like you were just there. It's fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
It's so interesting how like that's, you know, I think a lot of people are fascinated, like, can things from the dream world cross into the real world? And like, that's the one way for sure that they do, right? So that emotional thing where like, you know, you're suddenly mad at somebody in the dream and now you're mad at them in real life. And I get that, you know, my wife has a dream where I did something stupid or terrible and then she wakes up pissed at me. I'm like, but I didn't do anything. But
exactly.
But you know, it doesn't matter. I've now been colored in that way in her mind, or at least a little while before that emotion kind of burns off. Yeah. 100%. Now, by the way, I totally relate to that. I'm right there with you. I have that kind of thing a lot too, where it's like, you know, I've gone back to elementary school. There's all these people there, and I'm totally embarrassed. Although the extra fun thing is often I'm naked. Like, oh, this is really bad. I was like, why? Why would I not bring any clothes? Nothing at all, really? Come on.
No, what's fun are the dreams where you know you're naked and be like, oh no, this is normal. This is fine. This is cool. And you still don't wake up. You nothing crossed like, no, this isn't weird at all. I feel totally at home, which I've had those dreams before. But, yeah.
Yeah, I've had those ones as well. But for me, it's quite reoccurring over the years. I'll either be back at primary school or secondary school or sixth form college, and it muddles up different people at different stages of my life in different places where they shouldn't be. And it also muddles up the building layouts and redesigns everything. It's like,
Oh
really
man.
weird. But I never
Yeah.
question it while it's happening. While I'm dreaming it, I'm not questioning it. It's normal in the dream world. And then when I wake up,
Mhm.
what? That's most of my dreams are really weird and random and don't make much
Mhm.
sense. Most of, in fact, there's a meme I've seen online that always makes me laugh. It says, "Oh, dreams have meanings," and then it's like my dream, and it's got a picture of a T-Rex riding a dolphin holding an RPG. Yeah, that's pretty much what my brain does.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Siegfried
Yeah.
or Sigmund, whoever that like therapist is, would have like a field day with that. But
Oh,
Sigmund
yeah,
Freud.
yeah. They'd be like, the T-Rex represents the old world, and the dolphin represents like the superego underneath it all, and the RPG
and
is
the-
your tendency for self-destruction or something.
or
yeah.
the love of your mother or something.
I don't know about you lot, but do you have do you tend to have one dream as a whole dream throughout the night, or do you have segments, or both?
A little bit of both. It depends how much. If I wake up and I go back to sleep, it's pretty easy for me to slide back into a dream most times. Yeah, most of the time mine have a theme. That's the dreams that I really remember. When I wake up, go back, my brain just wants to go back into the story and figure out what happens, you know?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I actually envy that, because sometimes I've been having a really good dream and then I get woken up and then I go back to sleep and it doesn't resume, and I'm like,
Aw.
like changing the channel. I was like, I wanted to see the ending, how that ended, but no, my brain
Yeah.
invents a new story. But most nights I say I will dream in little chunks, not without waking up, just random segments that are completely unrelated to each other. Sometimes I'm involved and other times I'm not involved, and I'm watching something like watching a film or something with characters and other people that's nothing to do with me. And my most recent dreams, which were last night, must have been about 5 different dreams, but most of them are really hazy now and I don't really remember them. The one bit I remember that I was involved in was I was in this random house with some of my friends, and I think they were a bit hungover and they were hungry. It was the next day, and I ordered some takeaway for them, and one of them ate it all, and the other one who originally ordered I think it was a curry or something with rice, they said, oh no, they didn't want it. And then I said to the other one, so did you eat all of that? And he's like, yeah, I was really hungry. And that was it. That was that little random dream. And then shortly before I woke up, I had another little mini dream. And this one didn't involve me at all. It was actually a BBC News report about this random African nation that was training this little special forces unit to fight terror. And and in the news report they were saying, oh, the unit was trying to recruit 180, but so far they've only got 60 members, but they're still going ahead with the training program. And all of this special forces unit, they all had SLR rifles, which is the rifle the British Army used from the 50s into the 80s, and it was very specifically that weapon model. And that was it. And I wasn't involved at all. I was just watching this as if it was like a news report. So,
Was it real when you woke up? Did you check to see if the news story in your head was real?
no, it wasn't. No.
You could be you could
Obviously,
see into the future.
It is plausible, yeah. You know, it's probably based on news reports I've seen of, conflicts in those regions. Probably my brain just mixed it all up, and put it together. And I do watch a lot of documentaries about that kind of thing as well. So probably,
Okay.
probably it's just my
Yeah.
brain has taken all these random bits and just fabricated it into something. So, yeah.
I mean, I guess that's an incredible amount of detail to remember from a dream. Like I'm envious of that. Like I rarely remember my dreams at all, and if I do, I don't think I'd ever be able to pull a detail like that out of a dream the way you just did. I mean,
it really does vary, because, like I said, I think last night I had about 5, and I can only really remember those 2 that because they stood out to me. And also,
Yeah.
because I knew we were having this podcast today, so I kind of made an extra effort in the morning. Okay, I've got to remember this one because we're doing the podcast about it. Yesterday's one I've already forgot. So
Yeah.
I dream almost every night, but I forget most of them unless something stands out particularly.
Yeah.
And the real standout dreams I can remember for years. Like they go into long-term memory mode. I've had some really interesting ones.
Wow.
For years.
That's cool.
In fact,
Yeah,
there was
man,
actually one that I remembered when we were talking about the space tourism thing, and Frank was saying, oh, it's probably just like, you know, goes into orbit and just goes round. I actually remember a dream I had as a child. It was not too long after my first time on an aeroplane, and I actually had a dream. I was on just a normal passenger plane again, and it went above the atmosphere, and we could see, you know, space. So it actually went into space, but it didn't go too far above. But we were actually in space, and I was a kid at the time, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Oh wow, what, you know, we're in space. And I'll totally have the same reaction now. So.
Oh man, that's one I think is also kind of fascinating. Like I feel like I rarely remember my dreams, but what will happen is like somebody will mention something or something, or I'll see something, and like that will kind of trigger it, and all of a sudden it'll all come rushing in, and then I'll remember, oh yeah, that was what I was dreaming about last night. But like if you asked me what I was dreaming about, like I'd never be able to tell you. It's like some of the thing kind of has to you know, trigger it somehow. But yeah, I in general I almost never remember my dreams, but lately, I in fact just a couple days ago I had one, and this is just such a cruel thing that happened. Where I don't know if you guys have had this happen, where like basically I dreamed that I'd woken up and I'd started my day, right, and done. I'd gotten so far down there, I'd eaten breakfast, I'd changed the 1-year-old's diaper, you know, all this stuff that's just, you know, and I'm terrible in the morning anyway. Like I'm just a total, you know, zombie. I don't do good with them, and it's just like. But you know, so just to get out of bed sometimes is like a victory for me. So the fact that like, all right, well, I did it. I got all this stuff. All right, here we go. The day's starting to roll. We're starting to finally get there. Here we go. Coffee, thank God, you know. And then like, boom, wake up and none of it has happened. I have to go through the whole thing again.
Back to square.
And it's just like, come on. So yeah, that's an especially fun dream to have right there. Yeah, you too.
Yeah. I make it all the way to work.
Oh my God.
I get all the way to work, and then you realize, oh man, I forgot my uniform pants. I have to go back home, and then you go back and forth, and then you wake up and realize you didn't do any of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frustrating.
Another thing about forgetting things or things that are lost or get lost, because there's been many times where I've dreamt there's something in real life that I've lost, and then I dream about finding it, and I'm so happy I found it. Then I wake up and I'm like, it was just a dream. But then I get the opposite as well, where in the dream I lose something really valuable, and then I wake up, I'm like, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness that was a dream, because that would be a real hassle otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find that happens a lot to my phone in my dreams, but then like I'm getting to a point where I break my phone in my dream, but then I realize, wait a minute, Sarah, you wouldn't break your phone this bad. You're more responsible. You're dreaming. And then you wake up.
Yeah,
so now
I break
my phone. I'm like, Sarah, you would never break your phone. And then I wake up. And it happens more than often than not. And so it's so funny you bring that up, breaking things. But now I'm kind of like training my brain to be like, Sarah, that's ridiculous. You're not that clumsy.
That's a whole nother fascinating thing. Like, what are those things that were like, you'll suddenly realize you're dreaming, you know? And like, for me, it's like, it's a thing where you start reading something, like you actually, there's words on a page and you're reading them. And like, you know, and then you have that moment, or I have anyway, where it's like, you know, it's like this super weird meta moment where it's like, well, I can't be reading this as if I'm seeing it for the first time because my brain is creating it. And so how can my brain be creating something my other brain isn't aware of, and I'm reading it and then suddenly the words disappear, nothing's making sense. I'm like, oh my God, I've destroyed my reality. And you wake up. So it's like,
Unplugged from the matrix.
Well, for an actor, that's the worst thing, because I've also had dreams where I'm about to go on stage and I'm reading my lines and suddenly the pages get all mixed up. The words aren't right. I'm panicking and suddenly I don't know the lines and the pages keep switching words, and it's just like, oh no, this would never happen in real life. You're more together than this. But like there's after dreams where that exact thing happens. Where I'm like, that's so frustrating.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
I once had a dream where I traded my car for an inferior model that didn't work properly, and then I regretted it. And then I woke up and I'm like, well, why would I have done that in the first? I would never have done that in the first place. I was like, but it's funny because dream version of me was like, oh, actually, that was a really bad swap. My one was better. Why did I do that? Oh gosh. And I remember in the dream I was trying to sort of phone the person back and say, I've changed my mind. Can we swap back? And then I woke up and I'm like, that's really stupid.
I feel
that?
I feel like that's. I've had dreams kind of like that too, and I think about it now, and like, you know, there's that whole kind of, I think dreams like that are kind of a gift maybe, because it's like, you know, there's a certain amount of failure you have to go through in order to succeed, and like if your brain allows you to fail in your dream, it's like, okay, let's do that failure, but let's do it here in the dream world. So you don't have to do it out in the real world. That can be helpful, actually, I think. So.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I'm sorry, Frank. I'm gonna have to jump here in just a second to go do Zoom school with my kid.
Sure.
Because 4-year-olds on Zoom is such a great idea. But this has been such a lovely conversation with you all.
It's great to see you, Jay. Thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah.
We might as well wrap this up, Jake. What do you think?
Yeah. I have to go.
Well, we're all here, so we can all say goodbye together and stuff. Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, Jay's here, you know.
Yeah.
But the guys can hang on a bit afterwards, so we can wind down. But just for the sake of Jay being here, we'll say goodbye on the show now. So thank you, Jay. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Jake, for joining me. It's a pleasure.
Thanks,
Lovely to have
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, it's a
Great
pleasure.
to talk with all of you. Great to see you, Jake and Sarah.
Yep, you too.
And thank you guys for watching, of course. Until the next Logs Lockdown, take care and goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey.